We're, we're live, Chris. Well, Chris, you're on the mental health or mental strength podcast. I keep mixing that up. You know myself, and this is Graham. And so as I was saying, I was chatting to you there a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? And me and Chris were planning to start up a little bit of podcast. Your story was one of them stories that I thought like that a lot of us
need to hear.
Yeah, lots of people need to hear, especially in the side of the world where you come from.
Yeah.
So, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, obviously, how we know each other, I've competed in strongman for the last, I think it's nearly 9 years now, even though it doesn't seem that long, but it's 9 years now competing in strongman. I've got to, level-wise, I've got to Britain's Strongest Man, I've got the UK Strongest Man before. I've done strongman for a long time, and then sort of career-wise now, I opened Inspired Gym about 3 years ago, and before that I was used to work for banks, a job that didn't particularly like, but it paid for strongman, so it sort of kept me going for a while, you know. But yeah, sort of like doing what I love now type of thing, you know, regards running the gym and personal training. I'm more so nowadays working a lot in regards to mental health. About a couple of years ago, I started working for a charity called Aware NI, and started being an ambassador for them. And with them, we sort of publicly told my story about mental health, and it just sort of got a ball rolling with the whole thing. Got asked to do interviews here and there, and then got asked to work with people regards like sort of mental health coaching and stuff like that. It evolved on to doing seminars, doing talks, and now it's working a lot doing like workshops, motivational talks in schools and stuff like that. There is what most of the sort of work coming with it now. But yeah, it sort of just snowballed that over the last 2 years. It is with sort of doing mental health work. Still competing away at strongman. We'll trying to anyway, but better run your own business and still train and get time for everything. Like it's something that has to come first. Like, you know, training's on the back burner at the moment. Like, but I'm still throwing my hand in there every now and then. Like, you know.
Yeah, very good. So, like what we're trying to get to here. So we want to kind of little bit of like a background. So like. You're saying like you dealt with like depression and anxiety and stuff like this, and you talk openly about this all the time. So like what we're kind of doing, we're trying to do essentially what you do, and try to talk to young people and older adults and everyone out there.
Wants to listen.
Yeah, anyone that wants to listen, and just kind of get them out and get them active and stuff like that, and show them that there is other people in the world, there is other athletes that struggle. And there's athletes that compete now that struggle as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it's not everyone is a Superman, you know what I mean? Everyone has their flaws, but that doesn't matter.
And we're also trying to the idea that like with mental health and depression and anxiety, as I've heard you say before, you're not trying to cure it, it's trying to live a productive, happy, healthy life with it. And understanding that the ups and downs and carrying it with you isn't the end of the world, but there are needs, there are methods, and people who want to help you continue moving forward, even if you feel that you're crippled with it. Yeah.
And
it's to show that we want to move forward, and we're here to help.
No, I think that has to be one of the most sort of frustrating things about, you know, regards to doing mental health work now. You get a lot of people coming and asking you, how did you get over your depression, or how did you stop anxiety and stuff like that, and it's just like, it's still very much so there, you know, but you learn to manage it a lot better. And the way I look at it is like, as a personal trainer, I get a lot of people coming up to me, maybe somebody in their young 20s and that there, and they'll turn around and they'll go, I don't understand why I'm overweight. You know, my mum and my dad aren't, and my sisters aren't overweight, but like for some reason I'm overweight. And they can't understand why they have to start training their body at a younger age. When everybody else doesn't. And
mental health's very similar to that there, you know, like mental health, some people can, it'll not affect them until an older age in life. Some people get affected at a younger age of life. Some people get affected at sort of midlife, but everybody eventually will have to learn how to train their mindset and how to look after their mental health. It just happens to people at different stages, and I think a lot of the frustrations that a lot of people have with mental health is they don't understand that it's the why me thing, you know, why do I suffer with it when other people don't, you know, when my family don't or my friends don't. And it's like they'll cross that path at some stage too. But right now, this is your time where you have to figure out how to train your mind and look after your mind. And at the stage, you know, it normally, like, because I've been so open with story and stuff like that there, so many people approach me about it, and like, I can't say that anybody who I've talked to in the last couple of years can honestly say I've never had any contact with mental illness, i.e. not had it themselves or a family member or a friend. Like, everybody nowadays knows somebody or has themselves suffered with mental illness, you know, and it will affect everybody, but some people just have to figure out how to look after themselves a bit younger in life than what other people do. But it's definitely, you know, it's figuring out how to manage it, how to control it, and whenever you do that, it makes life a lot easier. But the cure thing, I don't know if it exists. Like, you know, like some people, I've heard loads of stories where people tell me they've got better and they're fine now. And whether it's a cure or it's been they've learned how to manage it and just maybe subconsciously without realising, I don't know. But yeah, that's the way I look at it. It's just another aspect of training type of thing, but it's just mentally instead of physically.
I think mental disorders like anxiety and depression are stuff that never goes away. It's just it's one of these things that you can't take a tablet and it just disappears. It's one of these things that's always going to be present forever, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it only takes something small to trigger, you know. But as you said, like you train yourself to manage day to day and get by day to day, you know.
It's the same in the gym. That's why I think a lot with strength athletes we can understand that, you know, we're strong, but to maintain your strength and to keep your strength going, it's a continuous process. And you might learn better ways of doing things, better ways of managing your stress, or better ways of lifting the weights. But it's all about continuously understanding that I need to keep working on myself for the benefit of myself, because life changes, stress changes. Something that might have thrown you NMS on Sunday when you were 16 mightn't bother you now. So like, we need to learn to adapt. That's the big thing. You're always learning. The thing that made you depressed or sad or anxious when you were 16 or 17 might make you laugh now. But like, we all change in our minds as we grow older and different. Like as yourself, like with your self-employment in your own gym, moving from one industry to another, it's like the self-employment creates a whole lot of stress that you never knew existed. You're worried about something you didn't know existed 3 or 4, but it's not necessarily depression or anxiety, but it can add to stressors which can ultimately bring up old habits. So the big thing is learning that it's a continuous process, and you're not looking for the cure, you're looking to mind yourself continuously. But it leads to much better things as well.
Yeah. No, it does, like, you know, like I know, I sort of figured out how to start my day myself, and then actually I heard stories from friends who I was starting my day with straight away the earphones go in and I start listening to sort of motivational speakers and stuff like that. I get up and try to prep my day for starting my day with supplements and stuff. But the main thing for me is when I get up in the morning is to start listening to sort of positive vibes and stuff like that.
Yeah. What kind of stuff do you listen to?
Les Brown. I've listened to a lot of Les Brown. Like, I think Les Brown was the first person who really, you know, connected with me, even though we have a lot of differences, you know, and beliefs and stuff like that. But like, I really connected with him for some reason. But just in general, like, if you go on my YouTube account now, it's just constantly coming through with more motivational videos to watch and stuff like that. And you know, I think it's really good to start your day like that. And like, I've heard since from friends telling me stories, you know,
ribbon with successful strongmen, and them doing the exact same thing in the morning. You know, getting up and putting on the speakers, motivational words, motivational talking and stuff. And I just realised that, you know, that maybe a lot more people are doing that there. You know, at professional level, they have to start their day on a positive. Like, definitely one of the worst things that I used to do for a long time was starting my day by, and especially whenever I started my own business, was starting the day by looking at my phone and seeing what messages you got. You know, pure business related stuff, but going on to social media to see what comments are made, what people are quick messaging you, asking this, that, and the next. And like, it has to be one of the worst ways to start your day, because you're starting your day living in somebody else's life. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're on social media. You haven't figured out what direction you're going into that day. You've gone straight into somebody else's day, you know.
That's the great thing about the motivational videos. Some people get very, you know, cynical about it, but it helps focus your head in a positive direction. And like, we mirror what we think about. So if you're thinking nothing but positive, you'll see a lot more positive in your day, no matter how hard the day starts. So if like most people, they dread the mornings, they dread the start of their day, having to face all these different things. So 5 minutes of Les Brown or whoever you need to listen to can set your head up to make it a little bit stronger to take on the challenges. I've used that for years. So any sort of training, whether it's for rugby, strongman, just general health, it started off with something that made me pick up and made me realise, right, I have a lot to do today. Like, an awful lot of people don't wake up at 5 or 4 in the morning jumping out of bed with a smile on their face. No. Anyone who does, they're probably crazy in their own sense.
Yeah.
So the fact is that some of us need a little pep, whether it's a cup of coffee, but a little bit of music or a little bit of a positive vibe in your head will do a lot more good than people know.
Yeah. I think as well, like, for a lot of people, the mornings, for me anyway, and I know for a lot of people, the mornings are the worst time when it comes to anxiety and stuff like that. Like, my drive to work is the drive where I do the most worrying and the most stressing out. You know, come the afternoon,
that's because you're just driving, or is it?
No, it's just the morning. Like, I'm so anxious every morning I wake up. I'm just filled with anxiety every morning. I sort of looked into the science behind it as to why this is. You know, why do I get up in the morning and feel so anxious? And I was talking to a fellow who's a counsellor, and he was telling me, you know, it's basically you're processing thoughts throughout the night, depending on how deep the sleep would go. If you can't fully process all your thoughts, you're waking up with the feeling towards them thoughts the minute you wake up, i.e. the anxiety. So it depends on your rest and how good your rest is, whether your mind can work overnight to process all the thoughts from that day through your system. It's I'm not going too geeky or anything here. Like, how your mind works is quite fascinating, and like, to know that your mind is actually processing your day whenever you sleep. You know, it is fascinating, and it's something beyond me to think of. I just want to know the basics of it, like, you know. But basically, per sleep, or not to get into a deep enough sleep and cause you to wake up in the morning with the anxiety of the day. So like, I most mornings I wake up, very rarely I really bother talking to people until the afternoon kicks in. It would just be general chat. But my feelings in the morning, I worry about fucking everything in the morning. Like I just stress out, worry about this, worry about that. The anxiety is built up inside me. You're just scared about everything, and then come the afternoon, that all just seems to leave me. Like, at evenings, I'm 110% at evenings. Like, so it's. I know a few people it's the same, but I think everybody's different. Some people, definitely in the more depression side of things, at night time, that's when their head sort of goes off in one, like, you know.
My morning would be my strongest point. I jump up in the morning, and it's like, even if I have a few hours in, by the time I'm in work, I'm flying. But the evening drops on, then, and the evening coming home, and in the evening at the end of the night, that's where I get my worst of it. Like, so the mornings for me they're great, because like, I've so much set in front of me. It's almost a dread of nothing planned for the evening. Like, from 6 o'clock and finish work, and it's just empty space.
When would you like physically train better, in the mornings or in the evenings?
It's generally around 12 o'clock after I've had the food in and my head's a little clearer. The first thing in the morning, I'm still not 100% with it with training, but with, like, when they deal with coaching and stuff, it's way easier. But to get my body amped up, I think I need 1 or 2 meals in me to go for it.
I think that's everybody's body clocks, body systems are like set in different ways. Like, for me, when I get up in the morning, that's when I struggle the most.
and as the day goes on, I feel better. And at night time, I train far better and far stronger at night than what I would in the afternoon or in the morning. Some people are the total opposite of that, just like yourself. Some people get up in the morning, their energy levels is good, they could train well in the morning or the afternoon, but they could train really badly at night and they crash coming towards the night. But yeah, I read a thing a while ago talking about that, and it was a book that basically, to summarise it up, talked about why is our jobs 9 to 5 whenever everybody's body's different. And it made me change my sort of working day. I try to work from 12 o'clock in the afternoon now to about 10 or 11 o'clock at night, because that's when I'm most, what's the word? The most energy, and I get better work out of myself. Like, I come in at the house at night and my mind's racing with ideas and stuff to do for work and all, and because you finish your day's work, you're sort of wasting that potential, So I try to like work and train towards how my body sort of feels,
So where did the anxiety start for you?
I would say initially, whenever I first started talking to mental health, I always thought it was in my 20s, young 20s. Yeah. But looking back, I remember I was doing an interview a few weeks ago when we were talking about when was the first time you can remember having a panic attack. Yeah. And it was actually, I think it was first year, P7 or something like that. It was a Halloween disco thing in school. And I dressed up in this, and my mum had actually dressed me up as Mrs. Doubtfire. And I went to and I actually, I thought it was so cool, and my mum had actually done a really good job. And I went to the school, and I just couldn't go in. I knew everybody was there, and I just couldn't go in. And I was just telling my dad, no, I can't go in. And he thought it was to do because I was dressed as Mrs. Doubtfire. So he took me home, took all the outfit off, and they drove me back round again, just in plain clothes to go in. But nothing to do with the outfit. The outfit was probably helping a bit to blend in. But that's it. I just felt I had to go in. And I remember going in and started taking panic attacks and the anxiety and the feelings of being in there, and that was just really bad social anxiety at the time, where I hated being at events or being at things with crowds or anything like that there. So that's when I remember back to sort of the first anxiety side of things. And I think anxiety always, regards to situations, anxiety always sort of stayed with me after that. I didn't like going out and socialising in big groups or anything like that. I was very late to start going to nightclubs and stuff. My confidence was never really great as a way. I was always sit with a head towards the ground type of thing. As a teenager and that. I had my confidence when I played rugby because that's what I was good at and that's what I loved. I never had a lack of confidence with it. But again, if the lads were looking to go out that night somewhere or looking to do something that night, then the anxiety would all set in again about doing something that was out of my comfort zone type of thing. Yeah. But I think that has always been a big part. It has always sort of been with me. But the depression side of things only really kicked in when I think it was about 21, 22. A lot of stuff happened to me as a teenager that I didn't want to stress anybody with, didn't want to worry about anybody with, never talked openly about it or seeked help or anything like that. Kept it all under wraps, and then whenever I started strongman when I was about 20, and that was great. It boosted my confidence so much that I became way more confident person, and it helped massively with that. But it was just there was so much stuff. Looking back now, I can understand it obviously a lot better. But there was so much stuff that I didn't process when I was a teenager. I didn't talk to people about. I didn't seek help, and it just all stayed underlying. My self-esteem was dire then. I had such a hatred for myself and for my body and stuff like that. So it brought me down something shocking. And then when I was about 20, I think it was around about 23, 22, 23. My nana passed away, which was a big hit for me. And then
a few other things started going wrong, but I was in a stage of depression anyway, and then I don't know. To this day, I couldn't tell you why it went from being depressed to the extreme that it went to, but it just went there, and I just I was totally happy that day that was me. It was done and dusted, and I was just this is going to be so good for this to be over and done with, and it was just it was weird, you know the way you get so excited about you know, going somewhere or an event coming up, and you're looking forward to it and you're excited for it. Well, that's the stage I got to about killing myself, that I was looking forward to it all coming to an end and that it had all been done. So it wasn't really you know, sitting there. I thought about it over and over and over again for for a long time, and it wasn't sitting there crying my eyes out and being in a bad, down and out place and all this sorrow around me. It was just you know, finally I see an end type of thing, which I thought was an end, to feeling like that every day, and I went to take an overdose, and luckily for me, my parents, they were away shopping that day. I sort of said goodbye to them, and then they sort of sussed that something wasn't right. And normally if they were away shopping, you have to drive quite a bit from where we are. You know, they'd be away for at least 4 or 5 hours or something like that. So whenever I knew they were away, went up to the bedroom, took all the pills with me, started banging the pills into me, and then the next thing, I heard them come through the door. So I tried to rush it, and then they came up the stairs and they caught me while I was in the middle of it, and simply they just realised that something wasn't right and decided to come home early. But for me, obviously I was so lucky that, you know, they came through the doors there and then. I was able to get the help that I needed, but I was lucky that way. You know, I mean, the way my mindset was then, I was, you know, I was 100% all for it, you know, and I was lucky that I was able to see what happens to your family whenever it happens, and you know, I was able to see my wee sister in tears, my mother in tears, and my dad angry and in tears. You know, I was able to see what happens, and a lot of people aren't that lucky. A lot of people don't get to see that. You know, a lot of people just close their eyes and go to sleep, and they don't realise what's left behind. So for me, seeing how raw that was, and how emotional that was, and hard that was for my family, after that, that's what helped me the most, you know, because any time I got down like that, I thought I couldn't do that to my wee sister again, you know, and I couldn't picture, because I had a perfect image in my face of my wee sister, crying her eyes out, and in the state she was in. Any time I would have thought about that, that's the first image came into my head, and it just made me that I would never do it again, you know. But I'm lucky. That was, for me, that was such a tool for me then moving forward. You know, when I started getting help, and you know, when I got bad days and stuff like that, that would always be raw in my mind. So for me, it was almost I don't know, a bit of a gift type of thing, that I got to actually see the damage it could do. But you know, sadly, not everybody's that lucky. You know, not everybody gets to see, you know, the sorrow and the love and everything that you end up leaving behind. You know, and obviously since then, you know, everything that I've achieved since then, you know, looking back now, I hate that I missed out and all that there. You know, there's been loads of down times, there's been loads of shitty times, but they only stay for a while. You know, they always, you know, the good times always come back. No matter how bad the down times are, the good times will always come back in. It's just a matter of riding the storm until things switch around again. You know.
Yeah. So after your so you had your attempt and stuff like that, how long did it take you to realise were you happy someone found you at the time? Or
no, not at the time. No, I was annoyed at the time.
and like they have no idea how much potluck it is, because literally, mum and dad were going out to do the big shop, as you would call it up north, like, and that's normally away for the afternoon. And my wee sister was about, but we would never really bother each other if we were in our bedrooms, type of thing. And I was annoyed that they found out, because I suppose it was out of the blue for them so much. I hate, and I'm still find it very hard to this day to burden people, which I feel is burdening people with your problems and stuff like that. So I would always have kept a lot away from my parents and away from my family and loved ones. I don't want to bring them down, or I don't want to burden them, But I think that since I've worked in mental health a lot more and had so many people come forward to me, it's made me a lot more confident in going forward to my family and my friends and saying, look, I'm struggling now, like, do you know what I mean? Because it's not a burden. Like, that's what, if my family came forward to me and told me they had problems, they wouldn't be burdening me at all. Like, I'd be so glad that they did. For some reason, you as a person, you think that it's going to be a burden to other people when it's not going to be. Like, people are always going to, people who love you are always going to want to help you and like, see you getting better, like, whether or not everybody can understand, like, that's a different thing, and that's where I think a lot of people get frustrated. Not everybody understands mental health, and not everybody understands each individual's mental health. But you can't expect them to, like, you know what I mean? Like, as long as somebody's there for you and they're doing their best, that's all you can really expect, But yeah, like, whenever it wasn't, at the time I was annoyed, and then afterwards I went to get medical help. Went to the doctors, told them what happened. They gave me a prescription and just sent me on, type of thing. And I started taking them to see if it would help, because like back then I didn't understand the mental health or anything, and I was like, okay, well, obviously I have depression, so now I need to take antidepressants. Started taking antidepressants and got so bad, like so bad on them. Like, I just I just want it every day to there was suicidal thoughts every single day. Like, there wasn't any highs coming from it at all. I went back to the doctor after a month or so, and they wanted to try me in another one again. And I was just like, right, no, fuck this. I just don't think meds are for me, like, and I personally decided not to bother with meds. But it was just frying my head too much. There's definitely a period whenever people start antidepressants, which I know more so now. There's a period of up to 8 weeks starting and coming off, where people will be highly suicidal. And I guess that's what was going on with me at the time. I was trying to start taking them, and it was just making me worse and worse and worse. But they take a while to balance themselves out, type of thing, So going forward after it, I don't know. I guess it was that big wake up call, and I was like, I took it on board as an entirely like a training way. If I seen a weakness in the training, I would correct it and try and fix it. I've obviously seen a weakness mentally, and I was like, right, I need to try and fix this here. And I just researched, I guess, and like listening to motivational speakers was a big thing. Anytime I got things tight, that's exactly what I did. The earphones were in, and I started listening to music, and I always wore as a guy, I guess it was like a security blanket type of thing. I always wore baseball hats, snapbacks, or a hoodie. And it's only really nowadays that I'm able to take them off. Like, that was maybe 5 years there where I couldn't have a snapback or a hoodie on. It had to be one or the other. And even nowadays, like, if I find myself in a situation I'm not uncomfortable, I go looking for a snapback or a hoodie to settle me down, make me feel better. Don't know why. It's like it's a security blanket, but I've found a lot of people who have anxiety who do the exact same thing,
Yeah.
They like the baseball cap or the hood over the head. I train a young fella, and he always wears a snapback, and it turned out it's the same with him. It's an anxiety thing. He likes a snapback on when he goes into public places and stuff like that.
Yeah, it could be a comfort thing. You're trying to avoid.
Yeah, I think it's like a security blanket type thing or something. You know, it's never really thought on it until I realised I started to get these feelings when I didn't have a hoodie or a snapback on. I started to get these feelings in public places and stuff, and I realised, you know, like whenever I went to do the show for MTV, they wouldn't let me wear my snapback in because it had Under Armour on it, so they took it off me. And the second day, I was like, "You don't go get me my damn snapback now!" Like I'm freaking out. Like they went and got me one, brought it in, and we had that on. It was fine. Like, but the first day, you see me go in with it, and the second day, every episode after that, I've got the snapback on. Like, you know, but yeah, it's amazing the wee things that can help people. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's very. So, like, you're talking about your MTV show and stuff like that. That's another thing I wanted to bring up. Like, I remember I actually went to watch an Ultra Strongest Man. Now, what happened there? We just lost a bit of connection there. But for all that, I think it's alright. I think that recording.
Yeah, that's you now, man.
Sorry. Yeah. So anyway, I was just saying about yeah, I remember a couple of years ago we went to watch an Ultra Strongest Man. You were competing and stuff like that. Whatever. I remember. I think you had a girlfriend with you at the time. And
Yeah.
that you were openly. I didn't know that, like, and then it was only like a couple of years ago, and like, oh, this gay, and it kind of blew my mind a bit. I didn't realize, like, you know.
Yeah.
And you kind of tell us that kind of story, like, you know.
Yeah, like I think it came as a shock to quite a few people. Like I guess most of my life, I only came out when I was 28. I'm 30 now, so I only came out last year. And prior to that, I was always bisexual, so I only dated girls. I was only really into girls, but I knew I was bisexual, and not a lot of people knew. You know, it's not there was no real point in it being public that it was. So not a lot of people knew. And then whenever my last relationship with a girl finished, I went into a relationship with a guy for a year, but we kept it sort of hidden behind closed doors. So we had it as that we were best friends type of thing, and it's just the secretness and being in the closet, basically, as you would call it, it ruined the relationship. So I didn't really know what sort of direction I was going to go into next. But I was like, right, this is the first time in my life where it's actually holding me back now. So I was like, right, I need to come out, and I thought about it. I was like, what do I do? I talked to some of my close friends who knew the situation, and I was like, right, genuinely how I feel is as long as my family and my close friends are good with it, then I don't really care about anybody else. And like where I'm from, I guess I'm a bit of a public figure. You know, everybody knows me. Everybody's known me for strongman for a long time, and everybody knew me for the gym. So like, you know, I was pretty well known. And I knew there would be a lot of like, I knew it was going to be hairdresser's gossip for a while, basically, like, you know. But for me, like, I concentrated on my family, I concentrated on my friends. I was like, if they could take it and they could support it, that's all that matters, type of thing. So, yeah, I told my family. Got to admit, it was a bit hard for my dad at the start. It was the one I was worried about the most. But him being the father that he is, he's been absolutely amazing about it. Just literally took him a few days to get his head around it, and then he fully supported me and has done since, like, you know. And The rest of the family were 100%. I'm so lucky and so gifted that way that I have a family like that, you know, who have always backed me in everything I want to do in life, and have backed me with this here too. So yeah, it's something that I'm very thankful of, and something that a lot of people don't have. Regards friends, some disappeared, new ones came in. Regards like the world of strongman, wasn't an issue at all. Like the guys just really couldn't care less, and it's never been an issue. Like everybody's been so supportive, and
that's kind of the mentality in the strongman community. I kind of think nobody.
Yeah.
Unless you're stronger than them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like every show I've done, 3 shows since, and everybody's just been. It's not even mentioned when it is. If it is mentioned, or it does come about, you know, it's done with a smile and a bit of a joke with a jab. You know, it's not like, it's just fine. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you're one of these people who, you know, jump on the bandwagon with the whole PC thing, well then yeah, maybe you can take a bit of a fit, but it's just general lads banter, and like that's what I grew up with all my life. Like, you know, it was lads banter, lads crack, like, and you know, being involved with rugby and all the rest of it. You got to learn to take the piss, like, do you know what I mean? But whenever you beat them at an event, you can turn around and you know you can take the piss back and say, "Oh, you just got beat by a piss," type of thing. Like, you know, it goes both ways, like, you know. But like, like the sport of strongman. I haven't seen anything yet. Like, I know Rob Kearney came out a few years ago, and you know, Rob has openly said, like, in the world of strongman, like, everybody's just so dead on about it. And from what I've seen, you know, maybe at a more of an amateur level, yeah, it hasn't been an issue, like, you know. But yeah, it was. I guess it was a surprise for a lot of people, you know, because I had obviously a relationship with girls for so long, and then the next thing I'm on MTV and in a relationship with a guy, like, you know. So. Yeah. So don't do things by small, like, you know what I mean? You know, but it's been good, like, you know. It's looking at it, and I think this is what I try to talk about a lot now in the seminars and the talks. That, you know, it's so important, no matter who you are, and this just isn't a sexuality thing. This is in general. That in life you try to be like the best version of who you are. If you try to be anybody else, you'll never be as successful as what you could be being yourself. And since I came out, I've been open about who I am. My career and my business has boomed. It's went through the roof. My gym has got busier, and I'm fully booked with PT clients. I'm getting asked to do seminars all around the UK. I've got asked to go to San Francisco. I work with youth in San Francisco for a month. I get asked to sort of LGBT youth groups to go and talk there. I get asked for nightclub appearances. You know, it all just came by just being who I am, without like making any real effort, type of thing. You know, and I think that's key in anything you do in life. If you want to be really successful, you have to be 100% you. You know.
You have a lot more peace in your head as well with that. Even though you're busier, there's probably a lot more calm.
Yeah, like it's you know, I suppose what makes it easier is you're not trying to learn how to do something. It's just like, this is you, you've got it. You know how to do this. This is what you do. You know what I mean? So it's busy, yeah. Like especially with MTV coming out, and then we just finished done the MTV show. Then after that I've done a documentary for BBC, and then we've just finished another documentary called Bear Strong, which is going very deeply into the whole mental health thing. It just finished, got filmed literally on Monday. So the final editing's getting done by it, and that'll be coming out soon. But it was a very, very hard thing to do because, well, I thought, right, let's just go film a documentary. Like, you know, this will not be hard. But bloody hell, it's been so hard. Like, the amount of work that's gone into that is crazy, and very emotionally draining too, because every time you're going to film, you're having to sit down and go back 6 years to when I was at my worst, and that's very, very hard, you know,
constantly living the past, living dark times, to make it. But it's looking really, really well. It was hard for me to do. It was hard for my family to do. It's even hard for the editors. The editors said, "Look, we need to break away from this here for a while because we're constantly going over and over all these talks and all these parts that are, you know, really hard to listen to over and over and over again. So they're needing to take a bit of a walk away and get their head charred too, like, you know."
Yeah.
But it'll be good when it comes out. You know, it's finished now, editing nearly done. And whenever it comes out, you know, it's the type of thing that you know, a lot of people will be able to watch and relate to, and hopefully it helps a lot of people. We're putting it out for charity for 2 months. We're giving it to a charity. They're going to advertise it for a download, you know, $4.99 or something like that for a download, and then it'll all go to charity, and then after that, just put it out there to everybody, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
Where will it be available?
Hopefully this very start of next month. I just need to catch up. John's doing most of the editing on it, like, and we filmed the last bit on Monday with Kaz Hawkins. I really wanted to get Kaz into it because Kaz, who's inspired me to do it. Kaz, she's also a mental health ambassador for Aware NI. A phenomenal singer, like, just an unbelievable singer. And she does what I do, but probably better. She tells her story through music and through her shows. She's actually in Dublin. I think she's in Dublin this weekend. It's in Dublin this week. I took about 30 people in total to the Kaz Hawkins show. Every one of them left in tears. Well, not left in tears, but, you know, tears were shed by every person going through the show. But the most inspirational show ever for mental health. It's one of her shows. It's incredible. Like, my life and I, she calls it. So she talks very openly about her life story. About a childhood of sexual abuse, drug addiction, suicide attempts. And she sings all through it, but her voice, oh man, it's crazy. Like, you know, and when you get such a loud, such a big emotional voice along with such an emotional story too, like, the hardest of men will cry. Like, you know, it's hard to sit there and listen to it, like, without shedding a tear, like, you know. But yeah, we finished filming with her Monday, and that was the last bit of it. So hopefully a couple of weeks here, that'll be all the editing wrapped up and get it out.
And where will you be able to view it? Like, where will you be able to watch it? Or
it'll be probably through the likes of Vimeo or something like that. Let's say we're going to give it to the charity Rainbow Project, and they're going to advertise it for downloads. It'll not be an expensive download, like, you know. It's just to raise a few funds for a local charity. The Rainbow Project are very good in what they do up here. And it's very much so needed, you know. So it's to help raise a few quid for them. So they'll put it on social media where you'll get a link to sign on and be able to download it and watch it, like, you know. But it will be good, like, you know. It's definitely like I suppose the most stripped back and the most raw that I've been talking about mental health so far, and as well for my family. But it's you know, you think when you're talking to crowds and you're talking to seminars, stuff like that, you always hold back a wee bit because you don't want emotions to get the better of you. You know, whenever you're talking to a camera, I suppose you can let your emotions come forward a wee bit more, like, you know. So it'll be good to see how it goes whenever it comes out, definitely.
Yeah. So, like, do you think the gym and training and strongman have played a massive part in helping you with the anxiety and depression?
For sure, like, you know, and it's just been proven so many times now that the benefits that fitness has and that training has and mental health, like, you know, is massive. And, you know, as I've always said to people, you know, I'm not telling everybody to go out there and be a strongman. It's just general fitness.
physical activities, you know, it helps so much with your mental health, and it's helped me massively. Like whenever I'm really struggling, whenever I'm getting down, you know, if I train, almost afterwards you're okay. Do you know what I mean? Not all the times, but like, you know, it's helped me huge, and like my depression probably, as I've got, in my mind anyway, as I've got better, as my mental health got better, I became worse. Not worse, not as good a strongman, because I used all that darkness and that anger and that hatred to train to like stupidly extreme levels. When you feel better about yourself and you feel happier, it's hard to put yourself through that, you know, that pain and that torture without having that self-hate. And like, I don't like to go back to thinking that way, but there has been times and shows where I know that I had to switch my mind to a dark place, and like, you know, for the show, or for training, so that I can get the type of training that I'm on. Because at the end of the day, like, you know, like, I love lifting, but there has to be that hunger and that drive, that betterment. You know, if you were sitting as a fully happy individual, you're not going to train yourselves to them extremes to be better if you're fully happy with where you are. You know, and I have found that whenever my mental health's got a lot better and I feel a lot better about myself and a lot more confident in myself, I don't train to them extremes that I used to train to, which in a way balances out a wee bit, because, like, you know, I'm not as injury prone as I used to be. I'm probably smarter with my training now, I should say, more so than just brute force and ignorance, like, you know. But like, it's a massive help to so many people, and like, if anybody out there is struggling with their mental health, it's the first thing to do. Get yourself into the gym. If you don't know what you're doing, get working with a PT who understands mental health. There's plenty of guys out there now are advertising and jumping on the mental health bandwagon, so let them put their money where their mouth is, and, you know, get on board and get PT in, and it helps you to, like, our gym. I say a couple of years ago, we came fully accepting to people of the LGBT community, and we advertised quite publicly of how understanding we are with people with mental health problems, and I don't know, we just made sort of an atmosphere at Aspire that whole gym fear, people just leave them and they feel very, very comfortable with training at our gym. Probably mostly me talking so publicly about mental health, and our team, you know, talking publicly about it, it's helped people feel comfortable about coming through the doors, you know. But I've seen it time and time again, you know, people who just coming in and just doing general fitness, setting themselves some small goals, stuck into training, and literally, like, to quote their words, it's like they've said it's the best thing I've ever done. This saved my life, you know. If it wasn't for this, I don't know where I would be now. You know, it's crazy how much it can help people. So, like, 110%, if you're out there and you're, you know, you're finding it hard to cope with your mental health, make sure you have a strong training program that you're following every week and getting stuck into. There's tons of help out there. Like, you know, there's no reasons or excuses why not, but give it a proper go. Just don't go once, have a good run on the treadmill and walk away and say, "Oh, I don't feel better." Like, you have to give it a proper go. Like, you know what I mean? Give it a try for a couple of months. You know.
It's tough for people as well when they do have some sort of mental illness, or they do feel depressed and stuff like that. They do go to the gym, like, they already feel intimidated in the gym, and then, like, that might bring on some anxiety, and they might think, like, "Oh, I don't want to be here now. I don't," and they probably won't go back again, you know. And you need it's one of these things where you've never done it before and you're feeling uncomfortable. You kind of need to grin and bear, and you will grow to like it, like, you know.
Yeah. Even that people, guys, there's other types of facilities. My own gym, it's very close quarters, but everyone knows everyone. The environment within the gym, intimidation isn't there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people only know gyms. There's nothing wrong with big leisure centres, but they can be very intimidating. Mirrors everywhere, people staring. people realise that there's smaller gyms with closer in the community aspect to it. The trainer there who talks to you as a person, not as you need to run this, you need to do this, you need to do this. Is like, how are you today? Very simple thing.
Yeah.
I don't realise that there's the whole personal level to the gym. Never mind just personal training. There's a gym that the atmosphere is an atmosphere of growth for everyone. I don't care what shape you are, what age you are, what sexuality you are. It's like, do you want to get better at this? Yeah, then they'll help you.
Yeah. No, exactly. Like, I had a fellow the other day who was telling me that he's PT's me at the weekend, but he's up at Londonderry, Stroke Derry, Stroke City, Derry, whatever you call it. He's up there for university, and he's training at a Pure Gym, and he went to check in, and when he went to check in, he says that it shows you how many people are in there at that time. And he says there's 390 something people in the gym at the time he was in it. Like, I've been training for 9 years now. Like, I wouldn't step in the gym with that many bloody people and start training. Like, do you know what I mean? Like if you're going to, like, I'm not knocking bigger gyms, but like if you're struggling with gym anxiety, then you're also bringing social anxiety in with it too, and going into like something like that and trying to figure out what you're doing. Well, realistically, probably, you know, like a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to go to the gym because people are looking at me, and I would always turn around and say, nobody is fucking looking at you. Like, honest to God, like, people are here to do their own thing, and nobody is looking at you, and that is the God's honest truth when it comes to my gym or smaller gyms. But hey, if you're going in somewhere with 300 people, somebody's going to be looking at you. You can't avoid that, like, you know, like that many people. Like, so I think going to gyms like that, like, certainly are intimidating, and like, you know, I wouldn't be training with 300 odd people around me, like, you know, or in the same facility I'm like, I personally just wouldn't be doing it, like, you know, like I go to other gyms, I go to bigger gyms in Belfast and Ballymoney for a day away, you know, and they're just busy wee gyms, like, you know what I mean, but, and it's nice to go to a different gym and get trained in a different environment and stuff, you know, but like, you know, in general, if you pick the right gym, you know, you pick the more local town gym type of thing, and you go along, like, you get it all the time, people saying that, you know, I don't want people looking at me, people are going to be staring at me and all. It's just like, no, like, sorry, I remember one client coming in and I was like, you think a lot of yourself, don't you? And she turned around and she said, everybody will be staring at me. And I was like, Jesus, you think a lot of yourself? And she's like, no, not in that way, just because I'm big. I was like, love, nobody has any interest in you in here. Like, you know, everybody's in here to do their own thing, and that's the way it is. Like, you know, like, I always thought, like, no matter who's in the gym, like, I'd never ever looked at anybody negatively in the gym. I've always looked at somebody in the gym as in, you know, fair play, no matter what size or shape they are, or, you know, like, I'm a big lad, like, I'm 150 kilo at the moment, but I've never ever looked negatively in a young lad who's currently, you know, sitting maybe about 7 or 8 stone trying to put weight on. You know, you just respect somebody for making the effort and for being there and trying to better themselves. Like, how could you ever disrespect somebody for bettering themselves? Is beyond me, like, you know.
Yeah. It's actually, there's a couple of weeks ago I was in a gym, really big woman. I remember being there, like, you see a lot of people staring at her and stuff like that, but like, at the end of the day, you look at her and go, like, she's making an effort, you know.
Yeah.
If we seen her walking down the street and walking into McDonald's, I'd think it's something different.
Yeah.
You know, I'd look at her differently.
Aye,
because it's here in the gym.
Yeah.
Kind of, you hold more respect, you know.
But that sort of comes down to, like, you know, I got a lot of clients who work with me with anxiety problems all have this thing about being looked at, being worried about being judged, being looked at and stuff. And it's something I came to terms with a while ago. I realised that I am not the norm. You know, I'm not your normal, average, you know, 20-odd-year-old guy. That's not who I am. I'm different. I stand out from the crowd. If I walk into a restaurant, people turn around and look at you. You know, I became comfortable with it very quick, and I realised that I would being different and not being the norm is the only way I would ever want to be in life. You know what I mean? I particularly do not want to live a 9-to-5 normal life where I hardly get noticed, where nobody ever pays attention to me, where I've never done anything successful in my career. I've just cruised my way through. You know, like, I could still be working for the banks in a job that I hate,
just doing what I do, earning good money, you know, bringing up a family, and you know, just do a wee bit of fitness every now and then and cruise through. But there's, you know, what is the root of that? Like, you know, people who have been like that there, who've been in my life or I've known, I don't remember them anymore. You know, people I remember in my life are people who were unique or different or had some type of characteristic that made them different from everybody else, and that's a good way to fucking be. But people seem to think it's a negative thing, and like, people seem to think it's a bad thing to be different and to be unique and to stand out, and that it's bad that somebody's looking at you. Why is it bad if somebody's looking at you? You know, it's like, how could that be a negative thing if you're drawing somebody's attention? How, in any way, shape, or form, is that a negative thing? You know, it can't be a negative. You know, for you to be able to walk past somebody and somebody not even lift their head to look at you or acknowledge you or remember you, that's a negative. That's a bad thing. But for you to make somebody look twice at you, and no matter what you are, no matter what characteristics are, not just look at you, but to listen to you or to watch you, you know, something that draws somebody's attention. If you do something in life that draws the attention of somebody else, in my mind, that can only be a positive thing. How could it ever be a bad thing? You know, but everybody just has that worry that if somebody's looking at them or listening to them, it's a negative straight away. They're only looking at me or listening to me. There's a bad reason. They never ever think they're looking or listening at me because, you know, take myself for example. You know, I walk into a restaurant. The old me used to think everybody's looking at me because they know I'm going to eat a lot of food when I come in here. Or like, you know, everybody's looking at me. You walk in there and all you can eat Chinese and all you can eat buffet. And I'm sitting like, everybody's looking at me going, wonder how much he's going to fucking eat. Like, you know, and that's the way I used to think. But now I walk into somewhere, I know everybody's looking at me going, well, fuck, what size that big man? Like, do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily in a negative way. You know, and it's, but body confidence is a massive thing. The happiness, it definitely is. Like, you know, and like, hands up, honestly, I've only become fully happy with myself in the past 2 years, and that is one thing that mentally changed for me whenever I came out. Was how happy I was with my own looks, my own physique, and my own body. That's the only thing that really mentally changed for me coming out. It gave me so much fucking confidence. Boosted my self-esteem through the roof. Because I was out there and we in the LGBT community a lot more. And what you find, what's hard for a lot of people who do same-sex relationships is that because you fancy a man or because you're a woman who fancies a woman, you believe what you fancy is what's attractive. So if you're not what you fancy, you feel that you're an unattractive person, if that makes sense. But it was only whenever I came out in sort of the LGBT community and my face went out there a lot more on social media and stuff like that. And I got this like influx of messages because men will talk more openly men will talk a lot more openly about, you know, with comments and stuff like that there. And I started receiving these comments and started getting asked to go to nightclubs and stuff, and the attention I got. That's the first time I've ever actually turned around and went, but you know, I'm happy with who I am, and who I am is attracting a lot of attention. And like I've always said this, like you know, every client that comes and works with me, I never ever train a client if I feel that they're trying to lose weight or change their shape because they feel they have to. I always ask people why they're doing it and make them understand that a transformation isn't going to change your happiness at the end, because it won't. But by training with me, I believe that they start to understand that in life there's no one way to look, and like your look and your personality is what makes the person. I believe you have to be fit and you have to be healthy, yes. Do you have to be slim? Do you have to be toned? Do you have to be curvy or whatever? No, you don't. Like, but there's no one way to look. And if you're say for example you're a curvy woman, there could be thousands of men out there who love you for that, and thousands of men who don't love you for that. Or you could be an athletic toned woman, and there'll be thousands of men out there who love you for it, and thousands of men who don't love you for it. But through social media and stuff like that, everybody just concentrates on like what is perceived to be hot and fit nowadays. But there is no set in stone way to look anymore. And like, if you can be confident in your body and who you are, and be fit and healthy, that's all that fucking matters. Like, you know. And I had a girl come the PT with me, and she maybe had like a couple of stone to lose at the most. And she was like, right, I want to get a couple of stone, obviously, what for? And she was like, she was in the public eye a bit, you know. She's like, I'm fed up. She said, I'm going to work and I'm doing this and that, and like, I just feel that I need to lose a few stone to look better. And I was like, do you feel fit and healthy? And she said, no, I could definitely work on the fitness. And I PT'd her for 4 months now. She had lost weight, but I refused to weigh her in, refused to take her measurements, because I told her at the start, I'm not going to PT you to lose weight, because you don't need to lose weight. Who you are, her personality and her body image went hand in hand together 110%. Like, her nickname was Mama, you know what I mean? So, like, you know, you need if you're going to have a nickname like Mama, you need to have a curve or two about you, do you know what I mean? And like, for me, it was like, no, it's not going to bring you happiness. But like, she's a lot more confident in her body now. She feels a lot fitter, a lot more energy, and not bringing herself down as much. And she's a lot more happier now. But like, from word go, I was just like, we're only doing this if it's concentrating on making you fitter and healthier. We're not going to be doing it just to try and drop a couple of stone off you, like, you know. But it's very, very important to feel confident in your own body image as it is now. If you're trying to train to change your body image, to change your shape, that's brilliant, but don't expect it to bring you happiness, because it won't. Like, you know, you have to accept who you are now and be happier than you are now to be able to move forward, like, you know. But it's a big thing for a lot of people, you know, body dysmorphia now and body image and stuff like that. There's so much pressure. I actually think there's more pressure now on guys than there is on girls, and it used to be a lot different years ago. There used to be a lot of pressure on women to look a certain way, and guys could get away with it. But now there's a lot expected of guys, you know, sort of in the especially younger guys, and how they need to look and stuff now. But
yeah, true. Are you saying this like overall, or in more in the gay community?
No, overall, like I know, like when I was attracted to women, there's certain women I was attracted to, and certain women I wasn't attracted to. But my mates would have been attracted to other women, and you know, it's just, I mean it as an overall, you know, like, who you are, no matter who you are as you stand, somebody will 110. I know this sounds a bit cheesy, but somebody will 110% love you for as you are. There's plenty of people out there who will. Nobody should ever feel they have to change because of what is socially accepted nowadays. Change for yourself, make yourself fitter and healthier, yeah. But you know, I guess it's just been years of people coming in wanting to lose weight and wanting to change shape because for some reason they have to, and they don't even know why. You know, they haven't decided why they want to lose weight. They just see themselves as being overweight, so they're like, right, I have to lose weight. And it's like, no, you have to be healthy and you have to be fit. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a size 8. Do you know what I mean? But no, that definitely it goes for everybody nowadays, not just within the LGBT community. You know, the social pressure that's on everyone nowadays. You know, especially you know, men and women, but it's definitely got a lot worse for men now, I would say. Like, you know, the guys are expected to look a certain way, and if they're not really sort of steaming the same, you know.
Yeah, that's because of social media now as well. Like, everything's so open for everyone. Like.
Yeah, I think it's massively to do with social media, and then I guess the increase of the fitness world has got so much bigger. Like, there's hardly a movie comes out nowadays without the training program of the movie star coming out not long after it. You know, the transformation of fucking. I've yet to see somebody do a transformation for playing the Hulk or something like that. Like, it's always like boys getting ripped up, we getting shredded and all, like, but
Yeah.
we're going to see Big Dave Crossman or somebody like that do another game to become the Hulk or something, you know.
Yeah. So, suppose we're kind of nearly wrap it up now, but just one more thing I want to talk about. See, you've done the reality TV with MTV and stuff like that. Are you planning to do more stuff like that, or was that just a once-off?
We've got asked to do a couple of things. I'll never do reality TV in my life again. There's no way I'll do reality TV. I'm glad I've done it. I'm glad I had the experience, but I refuse to say enjoy. Like, it was fucking awful. Like, you know, it was a lot of hard work. Like, see what you see on the TV. Like, each episode was filmed in a day.
Yeah.
And we got about 4 hours sleep each night. We had no watches, no phones, no time. So we went to the night we went in. We were put in through the night. Massive setup. Doing them shows like massive. Like, I think there was something like 16 couples were sent out to Italy who were scattered in hotels all around Italy because you weren't allowed to meet each other. And it was, you were blindfolded on the way to the mansion. We were put into the mansion. I think the last couples came in at like maybe 5 or 6 in the morning. But we had no phones, we had no idea of time or anything. So, and it stayed that way. So like the eviction nights were on the programme. They were maybe the eviction ceremony maybe lasted 5-10 minutes. It took about 5 hours filming that every night. And like you were woke up in the morning. You know, a voice came to wake you up, and you got up, and it was like, you know, Chris and John, will you go to the diary room? Or Chris, John, need you to talk to such, you know, it was go for like all day, just didn't stop. We were talking. And somebody like me will burn it very quickly mentally or something like that. And like I thought I was really good, health-wise, mentally fit to go into that show. And I went over there. We were in Italy for 3 weeks filming that. I went over to Italy at 150 kilos and I came back at 130. Wow. So that is the strain that it had on me when I was out there. Like, I dropped 20 kilos in 3 weeks. Like, I came back and everybody said to me, they were like, Jesus Christ, you've lost so much weight. And I was like, oh, well, I bound to have I haven't been training. You know, I was eating loads, but it's like I haven't been training much, you know, so I jumped the scales in there, died. I was like, how the hell am I ever going to get that on? I planned to have a competition like not long after. I had to back out of the shows there. But yeah, it was the stress of it was mad, like mad. And you know, there's obviously like you're getting a microphone around you all day long. There's cameras there 24/7. You went to the toilet, there was a camera looking at you in the toilet, and there was a microphone right beside you in the toilet. It was just very intense that way. So you're always, you have to be careful what you say, just in case you said something daft or something wrong. So that's always in the back of your mind. And then you do actually relax and get enjoying it more. But it's just like I love talking to people. But, you know, I'll maybe sit and yarn to somebody in the gym for 10 or 15 minutes and maybe not talk to somebody for like an hour. You know what I mean? Maybe go into my office, do a bit of work, and then have an hour yarn with somebody. You know, it's on your terms. But in that place, you had to like, you were talking constantly, like non-stop. Like your mouth didn't. You were either listening or you were talking. You were either listening or you were talking, and it didn't stop. And then at the back of your mind, you had to keep focused because you're in the middle of a competition at the same time. And like it's amazing how mentally draining it was. Like. There was one of the nights that we went to bed. We managed to get to bed early because we done our last interview early. We got into bed. We were out like a light, and everybody, the lights were still on in the room. Everybody was running around us, fucking about and all, laughing and taking the piss. And me and John just slept the whole way through it. We were so exhausted, like. And then the night before our eviction, we actually had enough. What do you call it? I had a couple of breakdowns in place, but then John took a breakdown, and I was like, right, that's it. We've done here what we came here to do. We don't need to be here anymore, so let's just go. And took our microphones and that off and went to walk out. But they had a word with us, we talked us back in, and then the next night we got voted out anyway. So we were definitely glad to be away, because it was just, I couldn't have done 2 weeks in that place, like, no way. But
how long more did it go on for?
I think we were in 4 or 5 days, and then there was another 5 days after that there of filming. But it was like, it was just so stressful, like, and I was asking for cams and stuff like that there to try and keep me settled and stuff, and I took a panic attack one of the days I was in the place as well. It was just mental, like, you know. It was,
Yeah.
I don't regret doing it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it was a great show. The producers and all were fantastic. Your girl Maya Gemma, who was the presenter, she was a lovely girl. Like, it was so, she reminded me so much of my wee sister. So like, I think like whenever she was taking the eviction nights, you know, it sort of helped to calm me down. Like, she reminded me of my wee sister a lot. But like, even the eviction ceremonies, like I couldn't watch them on TV, because the minute I seen and I heard Maya's voice, I was just like, I can't watch this. Like, I was ready to be sick, because it just reminded me of being back in the house again, and like how we all felt, well, how I felt anyway, going into them bloody ceremonies. Like, you know, it was awful. But it was a great experience. Like, really glad I done it. I would do any other type of TV again, but I'd be really reluctant to do reality TV. Like, really reluctant to do it. Like, you know, if the money was right, I would maybe do it. Like, I would need to be a good bloody offer. Like, you know what I mean? But
How
the
did you
idea,
manage your anxiety in the house? Like, did you feel it creeping back up or anything like that? Like,
it was awful. It was really awful. Like I honestly went into that place like 110%, and it just went so bad so fast, and I was just like, and then obviously you get a lot more emotional because you're tired and your anxiety's bad, so like your emotional's going. So like I was crying like a lot easier than what I would normally do. There was a lot of it as well, like, you know, like there was a lot of the show didn't get shown, regardless of like our side of things, our story, but they have a whole day of like, you know, 6 or 8 couples to cram into 45 minutes. So like a lot of stuff had to be cut for a lot of people, but there was a fella Jack in there, who I got really close with. He's a lovely fella, but like just before Jack went into the show, a couple of days before he flew out to Italy, he had to bury his mum. So I guess it sort of related that he was bound to be in a bad place out there doing that show, you know. And like we gelled pretty well and had sort of a very close one-on-one, but sadly it didn't get shown on the show. But it was very, very taxing. Like it was mad. Like, you know, we got well looked after. Like, you know, like definitely. She's 3 weeks in it.
Having no privacy.
Huh?
You had no privacy for 24
Nothing.
hours.
No, you went to take a dump and there was a camera looking at you. Like, it was awful.
Yeah.
I actually, for the first time in my life, I was constipated for fucking 3 days being in the place, and that, for a strong man, that's something that rarely happens.
That's
Like,
not up already.
I said to John, I think it was on our last day or something. I was like, when did we do that bed making challenge? And it was like the first day. I was like, that's the last time I've been to the toilet. It's like, this is like 4 days here. I was like, this is bad. So I couldn't do it. You sat down, like, I worked in security for years, and like, they were like, the camera in the bathroom doesn't get filmed, you know, and I was like, nobody watches it. And I was like, but it's a security camera. And they're like, yeah. I was like, somebody's watching that fucking camera. Security camera, they're bound to be like. So
Yeah,
I just couldn't do it. I was sitting down and it was just looking right at you, but just I was nah. Take it up and go, you know.
You had a shower scene as well. Like, I remember
Aye.
one night and all I could see was your bare arse.
I know, like, of all the people that was in that bloody house and they used my arse, like nobody else. Like, and I was standing there, I was in here watching it, and because like we were going to do, none of us had, nobody had seen the what do you call it, the episodes before they came live on TV. So nobody had seen it. So like
we didn't know what was going to be on every night. So me and John just sat and watched it together, you know, just God forbid if something bad was to come up, you know. But looking back now, I wish we sort of did go and watch it with friends and family, you know, because there was nothing bad on it really.
Yeah.
And yeah, that came on, and I was like, oh my God, like, why me? Why am I arsing it? And it seemed that it was on TV for like 20 seconds. I was like, get off. I was like, what? Like, nobody, all the guys that's in that place, like, I could have told them a lot of better archers to put in that TV instead of bloody mine, like, you know. Yeah, but no, I think we were, like, me and John, we owe them a lot of thanks, like, you know, because they portrayed us, like, in an honest way, and, like, a way that, you know, I believe our relationship is, and they've shown our relationship really well, like, you know, so, you know, two of us is dead thankful for that there, like, you know, but I think it's just a bit of a case that, you know, we generally, whenever we went out there, we didn't know that we just heard it was a show, like, we knew nothing about the show, we didn't know it was called Lovers and Liars or nothing, you know, we arrived out there, all we knew was we were going on a show that was for couples, that wanted to be very versatile, i.e. have LGBT couples in it and different races and stuff like that. And that's all we knew about it. Well, the whole Liars thing was genuinely revealed to us that night. The prize money was genuinely revealed to us that night. So when we headed out to Italy, we headed out where our mindset was, right, we're going to go out and, you know, try and reach out to a lot of, not just young people, but primarily a lot of young lads that are out there who are struggling to come to terms with sexuality, who can see that, you know, a car mechanic from London and a strongman and gym owner from Northern Ireland, you know, can come together and form a relationship and get rid of all the stereotyping and stuff like that there that comes with it. You know, like, I've always said all along that, you know, like, anybody who knows me knows that, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with stereotypes who are in the LGBT community. You know, but I think it's good to show that there's all different sides of, you know, people within the LGBT community and not just the normal stereotypical, you know, type of relationships and the type of people, you know. But I feel that we've done that, you know, so we left, you know, we left out of that show. We've done really well, the two of us, so you know, we're lucky for that. I don't think everybody was as lucky to do so well, but, like, you know, it's done us both very well, like, you know, so it's got me a lot of work, and the San Francisco thing has came from it, so yeah, I'm happy that I've done it. I will do shows again. Like, I filmed a show for BBC just when I got back from that, and we filmed our own documentary. So going forward now, I'm looking to approach RTE and BBC with a couple of ideas that I have for shows. I'd love to do sort of an LGBT show with South versus North, to see the difference in the Dublin city compared to the Belfast city. I think it'd be a good contrast to be able to compare the two. But yeah, plenty of ideas. Like, it's just probably next year we'll make a few of them happen. You know, getting this documentary, it's the primarily focus at the moment. You know.
I think we're nearly going to wrap it up, is it?
Yeah, I'm down to 10%, so we're going to have to.
Sorry?
I'm down to 10%, so we're going to have to.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, look, thanks very much. Yeah, big time. Like, it's been really great talk, and hopefully it'll motivate and inspire someone, you know. Any advice you want to leave with, or anybody that will be looking?
The best bit of advice, if anybody's watching this, I can give to you is 110% be yourself, and just remember, you know, just remember in life, the one thing and the only thing you'll ever be recognised for in life is how you make people feel. Success and trophies, winning first place, everybody forgets that shit so easily. Like, it's how you make people feel is always going to be what people remember you by. And those are the two things I try to stick by now, and it's doing me well. So hopefully other people can stick by it too. Like, you know.
That's right. All right, Chris, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Seriously,
All right, lads.
all your future projects, and drop me a line, we'll share them as well. Like,
Yeah, 100%, guys.
All right, Chris.
All right,
thanks
guys.
very
Take
much.
care.
Bye-bye.
Best of luck, guys. Talk to you soon.